morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I trust that you have had wonderful family time and celebrations, the Christmas break, the New Year's Eve, and certainly in our thoughts are everyone that is not having such a good time around Australia, which is around all of the horrible bushfires that are everywhere. So I trust everyone's doing a little bit to help out in whichever way they can. And I thought, why not today restart my life with Nat? I was kind of juggling the idea whether I should restart it or not, and I woke up at 7:30 this morning. I go, come on, I need to get back into some sort of routine of what my weeks look like. Hey Moana, great to see you on the call. And Viv, you're back in the country. You didn't report in on Slack that you landed, but I saw your activities on social media, so I thought, yeah, she's back. She's nice, safe and sound and at home, and I hope you're not too jet lagged. Actually, it only took us a couple of days back home to recover from our big trip across from the US, so we're all set, you know, and everything's back into normal, well, not so normal routine, because January is a tough month for business, especially if you are a parent of kids that are still at school, or perhaps in primary school, who demand and want lots of entertaining and all that sort of stuff. And we realized only the other day how helpful those January holidays were for us, because every year for the last 6 years we would be away at this time of the year, from the 2nd of January to about the 2 weeks from there to the 16th, and then we'd have sort of a week at home and everything will get back to normal routine back at school. But however, now we're almost like, well, a whole month back home, you know, with the kids on school holidays. And I guess we have to say we're blessed that we made the decision to go and do the White Christmas this year and flip it all around, because of the bushfires. Where we would have gone was exactly where it's the hottest and most dangerous time right now. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise. So I thought I'd talk about today a little bit about, well, what am I going to do this January, and what should people be doing that are business owners, and things that, you know, and how do you juggle around if you do have those kids at home. And I wrote a list of 10 different things that that I'm kind of planning, already have done, and of course I don't teach anything that I don't do already myself. So here goes. All right, so as the tradition has it, on the 1st of January I like to set aside a couple of hours somewhere by the pool or in the house, depending on the weather, and I sit down and I write my 12-month goals. And so they're my 12-month goals, and then the first quarter goals there. And for those of you that do have this planner, my there's a certain way that we set goals, or that I like to teach people to set goals, and that is that there's a little template here that teaches you how to do it. But when we write goals, we obviously set them in the present tense, as if we're already in possession of them, and then we also engage all of our senses of I will hear, I see, I feel, I hear. In terms of when you have achieved that goal, because it's not actually the goals that we're after, it's actually the feeling that we get from achieving them. And as we know, as soon as we achieve a goal, we need to kind of set that very next goal, because there's that constant need within human beings to want to be more, achieve more, learn more, and keep evolving to the very next level. So I did and I like to do the different colors, so that sort of it splits up the goals. And underneath that, there's also a section that says reward. And to the right hand side of this, actually, there is a section that says achieved, yes or no, and success percentage. Because sometimes you may have achieved the goal 80% there, not quite 100%, but that's still a pretty good way, a pretty massive achievement to have almost reached it. So that's why I kind of put that there as well, because I think it leaves it to be encouraging. So always writing them in the present tense as if you're in possession of them. What I also did is I wrote down what categories the goals will be in, because as a business owner, you may want to set your goals around business all the time and all of those kind of things, but we're a lot more than just business people. So mine are in the categories of personal development, business, health, investments and travel. So those are the ones that the categories that I sort of chose. And I do find, again, doing too much can be overwhelming. You go, oh my God, you know. And as I write my goals each January the 1st, I feel like this sense of you know, like this feeling within me, oh my God, am I really saying I'm going to do this? How am I going to do this? This is too massive, too huge. But then I just take it back and just tell myself, one day at a time, one task at a time, and just keep going. And over here, same thing, I get the same feeling with my whiteboard, which has got all of the events that are scheduled for the year. And I look at it and I go, oh, you know, there's so much travel, there's so many people that to see and places to go and all that kind of stuff. And then I just go, stop, just do whatever you need to do today, and you'll get organized for the other stuff later on. And this is a whole year that you're looking at. Actually, what I did yesterday, and I haven't released it yet because I haven't finished it, another thing that I like to actually do in December, but I didn't get to do this while I was away in the US, and I'm wanting to smash it out before the 10th of January, but I write a family newsletter. It's called the Denman Post, and this is about all of the different achievements and the things that we have done with the family and where the kids are at and all that kind of stuff. And this is going to be the 7th year that I'm doing this. And yesterday I pulled out all the photos, and as I go through the whole of 2019, I kind of review the things that have happened and the people that I've met and where I have been, and all of a sudden that also is a great reflection to go, gee, I did a lot of things. I mean, I often say to people, and there was a question that came up on New Year's Eve with Amy and our friends who are here for the pool party, you know, highlight of the last year and highlight of the last decade. And I've really struggled to come up with one highlight. I said, oh my God, I do so much. Every year feels like a decade in my life because we do so much. We travel, we achieve a lot of goals, we do what we say we're going to do, and it just, there's so many good things. I cannot pinpoint just that one thing, so I really struggle. So I just talked about the summary and overall. And so that's one thing that I do, and I don't know if you do that. That was inspired by one of my clients when I used to just do life coaching. About 8 years ago, she said she used to do this for her family. And so I started doing it about 7 years ago, and I'm hoping to release that very soon. So that's another way of reflection and reflecting on the things that have happened and actually really seeing what you can actually achieve and fit into 1 year. And then, of course, the new goals for 2020, you know, and making sure that at the end of every quarter, which this diary prompts you to do, is to write the following quarter's goals and review the ones from before. So that's one thing. Good morning, Zelda, and thank you for those who have been sending love hearts. So that's some of the things that are really important to get done in January. It really does set you up and get you organized in your head so you can then reverse engineer what is it that you're going to do week after week. And the beauty of this little planner is that at the start of every week, you've got your 3 you know, weeks outcomes that you want to have. So they need to be obviously tied together to what your goals are, and then I've got what events am I going to attend and things like that. So I'm about to sit down and do that after this call. So that's one. Another thing that we do in January, and a lot of you guys have heard me talk about it who know me quite a bit, is our no dickheads policy, right? And Stuart and I are pretty much on track to do that today or tomorrow. We thought over the weekend, we're just kind of in weekend mode. So no dickheads policy happens in the next couple of days here at our house. And this is where we review the types of people that we want to attract in our life, whether they're clients or people or friends or whoever it is who do we want to attract in our client, and how do we want to be in our relationships with them? What kind of personalities, decision making, traits do they have? And so all of those things we have a look at, and we say what we want rather than what we don't want. So our no dickheads policy is going to be recreated, and every year after year in January we redo it and we refine it, and we're very clear in our mind in terms of what is it that we want to attract in our life. So make sure that you do sit down and write your no dickheads policy. And in this planner, that is right at the very beginning, sort of after the yearly things right here at the top. It says Dream Client Description 2020. I just crossed that out and I put no dickheads policy, and then I write it also in the present tense as if we're in possession of these people, right? So we want to feel like it's already a reality, and you wouldn't believe how a lot of this stuff just happens and actually eventuates in your lives. All right, so following task is to book any stuff that you haven't as yet. So if you're doing events this year and you need venues, or you're traveling to places, actually yesterday we were booked our September school holidays trip, because getting stuff early really enables you to get good deals on flights, good deals on hire. If you're going to hire venues multiple times throughout the year, you can negotiate. If we did most of this in December, early December, late November, but there might be things that are just left over. So it's time to do those things and get super organized. So then you're only in execution mode. So we kind of always work a year in advance. So everything that we're doing in 2020 is already booked, whether it's accommodation, whether it's trips, travel, venues, all sorts of stuff that needs to be organized for that, it's done. And pretty much throughout 2020, we will be doing it for 2021 from about mid-year. So now we are in a kind of a half a year of not thinking about that kind of stuff anymore. But if you do have it left over, get it done. Just ring places. Places should be reopening either today or next Monday. And yes, they might have a lot of backlog of stuff to get through because they may have been shut down over the period. But certainly, you know, get onto it so you're not then thinking about it. It's there and you're only in execution mode for your life and for your business. And we're not just talking about business. Now, following task is, if you do have a team, or even if you don't have a team meeting, because it's a nice way to get the year started, to communicate your intentions to your team of what you're going to do, what is it going to look like. Certainly pre-write an agenda and of topics that you want and need to discuss, because if you're going with no focus, it'll just be like a social gathering and you won't get anything achieved. So we did this last year when Viv joined our business, and with Lindy from the Philippines, and my mum and Stuart and everyone, and it was a great way to just set ourselves up and encourage each other and get into that mode. It's again getting back into a routine. We don't have super regular meetings, but we certainly have that start of the year one, and you know, when we did our conference and our following conference and all that kind of stuff. So it really is important to communicate each other's goals, you know, if anything else. So that's what we will be doing probably around between the 20th to the 26th of January, when everyone is actually physically back in headquarters here at the Denman household. So team meeting, and if you don't have a team, well, then do it with yourself. Maybe that goal setting session will be that. Maybe set some intentions and think about the different areas of the business that you do control yourself, because I know in the beginning you're everything within the business, whether it's the admin person, the bookkeeper, all that kind of stuff. So maybe set aside little blocks of time to look at all of the different areas of business that exist. And maybe is it time this year to hire the extra team, that team member? Could it be a virtual assistant that you need to hire? Actually, 4 years, almost to the date, in probably 2 weeks time, I hired my first virtual assistant, which is still my virtual assistant now. And Lindy has been a valuable team member that has grown and evolved herself over this period of time. And you know, to have one, you know, as a small business owner is quite affordable if you will hire someone offshore, and therefore you can start having that feeling of having that extra helping hands, so you're not doing everything yourself. And as Francesca would say, do it sooner rather than later, even when you can't even afford to pay yourself, because you'll be able to focus on the more important things in your business, which is, of course, doing the sales and the marketing and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, team meeting or hire yourself a VA. And actually, what I'm planning to do this January, and Lindy and I have decided to write a book, and it's going to be a co-written book. I was thinking maybe in this period I will end up writing. If I just set aside an hour a day, an hour and a half, I could do a chapter a day, and in a couple of weeks' time, I think I'll be done with my part of that book. So watch out for that. Because that'll be all about how to find, keep, and develop a virtual assistant. And Lindy, if you're going to watch this later today, I think maybe you should start on your sections as well. And then we're going to be releasing that probably maybe mid-year, I would say, around that, because that's a goal we set at our last conference, and we unpacked the whole book on the flight from Boracay to Manila. And now it's about just sitting down and getting it all done, because it's all up here in the head. It's just got to organize it on paper. All right, so that was that one. So following point is follow up with clients and touch base with them. Maybe everyone has had this period of not communicating as much, and you know, everyone's been with families and things like that. Good morning. Thanks, Moana, and hi, Adriana. So everyone has been sort of on the down low, not really, you know, spending time with family and all that sort of stuff. Make it a point to touch base with your clients, and you know, maybe not this week, but say from mid-January, it's probably a reasonable time that most people are back into it. And certainly that's what we will be doing as part of one of our tasks, you know, to see where people are at, you know, what are their new goals and all that kind of stuff, because a lot of things can shift and change for people as they make their new intentions for the following year, and where they want to go, and new dates and due dates and things like that that might be happening. So do touch base with them. Maybe set aside a day where you're just going to make phone calls, send SMSs, Facebook messages, whatever it is, however you're going to do it. But the more personal, the better. So do touch base with people and reconnect, because people will want to get back into things, and they're excited for what this new year will hold ahead of them. All right, following one on my list is a New Year special. This is a great time to release something new. If you want to generate an influx of fresh new sales, why not put out a New Year's special? You know, whether it's a package, a product, you know, special for your coaching services. You know, I'm still thinking of what mine might be. I think I'm going to release mine next Monday. I'm just going to brainstorm with Stuart this week what that might be. And it is a great way, because usually in our business, we don't have any sales generating activities during December and January. And why not tap into the already nurtured database and people who are already following you to release something that you might not have available throughout the year. So that's what I'm thinking that I will do. And sometimes when people don't commit to our program services or whatever immediately, I always say to them, well, look out, from time to time we do release something that might be special, you know, to our people. So look out for those things, and you might be able to jump on board exactly then. So so what will be your New Year special? Will it be a product? Will it be a service? Or will it be something bundled up together, which will be a no-brainer for people who really have been following you too and want to achieve the specific problem that you solve? That would be a thing that they would, you know, want to snap up this January. All right, so following one on my list is review and rewrite any new systems that you maybe have been holding back off on doing, because it's a tedious job and all that kind of stuff, especially if you are planning to now hire a virtual assistant, which we've talked about just before. You know, why not you know, be ready for them? So spending an hour or so reviewing, reading what you've had in the past, because you've flipped the page being into the new year, so perhaps you're thinking about new activities and new ways of doing your business. So why not review all of those things before things get too manic and busy? The following one on my list is juggling the kids. Okay, there's a juggling the kids in January, being the month of summer holidays, and they're not restarting right till the end of it. You know, I have to say, you know, I have felt since we came back from America, it's like, oh my God, you know, yes, we've got to come up with ideas of things to do together, but I also feel like because I've got the achiever pattern in me, I feel like I need to do something also to move myself forward, to move the business forward, not because I feel like I have to, but I want to, because it gives me a new sense of energy. And this is the whole reason why I came on live this morning, because I wanted to feel like I'm coming back into some kind of routine. And usually doing this live does spark me up and gets me into the mode of, okay, these are the next things, this is what we're going to organize today. But it also makes me feel motivated to do the things now around, okay, so this week, so what we're doing is we're going to write our schedule today for the rest of January. And what's that schedule? Well, where do we want to go? What kind of entertainment do we want to involve the kids in? What play dates, Mika's got someone coming over today. I'm taking Zara somewhere on Saturday. We're going to the movies while the cleaner's here on Wednesday. So we're just going to put it all in, because what gets scheduled gets done. Because there was a couple of days there, I found myself just like sitting around and kind of going, I feel guilty to go and do some work or something that I enjoy doing, creating or writing or whatever it is. And they are kind of just, stuck in the house and things like that. So writing a schedule and committing to it, and then you won't feel guilty if I schedule a couple of hours of wanting to do my business stuff. I won't feel guilty stepping aside and actually going and focusing on a few things before I go back to more family time and school holidays. So it is a challenge if you have got those primary school kids at home or even younger, because the high school ones are probably a little bit more independent, but it's doable, and we can make it. We can make it past January, and then off they're going to school, and we can really get into new routine. But this is what it is. If you're in that place, is schedule things, think about what kind of stuff that you've always said you wanted to do and you haven't done this yet, and go forth and start executing those things, and then go and do your stuff that you enjoy doing as well. So that's why I was thinking I was going to write the book that I'm writing with my VA throughout this period, because it won't be as busy as it will be from come February. All right, a couple more points here is restart your health and exercise routines. I know none of you should have stopped your health and exercise routines, but things do happen. We do get distracted by lots of temptations over the Christmas period, and things like, people treat them as rewards and all that kind of stuff. I'm happy to report that on the 2nd of January, I restarted my PT. I went to 2 very hardcore sessions 2 days in a row. I was bloody sore. Hey, Gerda, great to see you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And now I did my exercise this morning, so I got up and did all of that. And as I said, I wanted to get back into what I'm doing for the year, and that's why everything I've done as I would normally do on a Monday. Not to say that I won't go into other activities. So guys, there's a lot of things to do. Still a lot more fun to be had during January with the family, and enjoying this time, because then when you get busy and you want that quality time, then you got to wait around for the next cycle of quietness. But we're super excited to be starting this year and getting even better. This is our 10th year in business. So in May 24th, which is my birthday, we will be celebrating 10 years in business, which is exciting. And actually, I've got a trip booked for a health retreat then, and I'm going to probably have some party. I have to do something around it, and I'm super excited for what the future holds. At this present time, also my auntie has come to visit from Macedonia. She's here for 3 months, so I'll be entertaining her as well as the kids and all sorts of stuff. So we can do it. So I trust some of these points have added value to you guys today. There's lots of things to think about, but it's really good if you can feel super organized and ready for the year ahead. For us, we've done all our decluttering. Everything's where it needs to be, because all we want to do is focus on execution moving forward. So for those of you that haven't got the 2020 planner, there's I think 20 or 25 left downstairs, so they're pretty much almost all gone. I'll post the link if you do want it, because I did talk a lot about the goal setting. Oh, by the way, another thing, one more thing I want to give you. I've just remembered because I did it. There is in this planner a 5-year vision page, which I've done. Here it is, 5-year vision. And the 5-year vision is kind of that extended view of what you want your life to look like in 5 years' time. So what do you want your physical environment and things to look like? And so, you know, like amazing energy, 10 properties, 1,000 authors help, healthy and strong, active, fun social life, happy, close, loving family, global recognition. So some of those things that I have got on my 5-year plan, or 5-year vision. Now, one thing I have to say to you, I have been doing this for many years, this 5-year vision, and often when I have found all planners and diaries, which I keep in one spot here in my house, I'm amazed at the stuff that I have already achieved, and it hasn't even been 5 years. And there's a famous saying that we underestimate what we can do in 5 years and overestimate what we can do in 1. Okay, so we underestimate what we can do in a longer period of time and overestimate what we can do in a shorter period of time. And it's really interesting when I went back, I think I did this in my first couple of years as a coach, and I've done a 5-year vision every single year. So I review it, even though it's a 5-year vision, but I review it every year. And I read back some of the stuff, and I had achieved it in like 18 months, not in just and not in the whole 5 years. So I like to do it because it reminds me how much more we can achieve in a shorter period of time than we actually give ourselves credit for. So do that one as well. So yeah, as I said, I was stumped with the 5-year vision. This has helped. Oh, good, Kayleen. So there can be measurable things that you have, and they could be also like personal things, like, you know, healthy and strong. Like, I'm healthy and strong, but I want to have that vision of that's what's going to be in the future, you know. Then I've got 10 properties. I know that's a measurable thing, like how many properties I want to you know, have in terms of investments by then. You know, active, fun social life, you know, that's again, some of these things I might already be, but I want to maintain and have also in 5 years' time. And you know, exercise, fitness, again, I'm doing it, but I want to keep doing it as well. So it's not just about you know, what you're not yet, but what does your environment and the surrounding things around you look like and feel like. And yeah, so there can be measurable things and specifics. So I'm glad it has helped that I have clarified that point in the planner. All right, guys, so have a wonderful Monday. I'll be back next Monday. As I said, I'm back into a routine now, and bring you, if there's any specific questions you would want to ask me, or you want to suggest a topic that I can unpack for you, I'd be happy to do that as well. You know, because as you know, sometimes I'm deciding a topic in the shower 5 minutes before I jump on live, because I didn't get pre-organized. So have a wonderful week ahead, whatever it is you're doing. Keep having fun with the kids while they are on school holidays, and at the same time though, don't feel guilty if you want to step aside and do some stuff to get yourself super organized for 2020. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing a lot of you throughout the year, and go and smash it out.